February, you know, is Black History Month, and so in honor of that, we are putting our knowledge to the test and learning some interesting facts through a little trivia, thanks to our new friend Deborah this morning. Deborah, thank you so much for coming on the show. We're excited to host you because you are quite the leader here in our area. You work with a number of wonderful veterans and are hosting a great event this weekend. Tell me how this came to be. We got some fun trivia coming our way.
Good morning, Payton. Thank you so much for having me. I'm a member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 2702 Auxiliary here in Huntsville, and the auxiliary is made up of family members of veterans. The Post 2702 has been so active in our community, one of the most active posts in the state of state of Alabama. And what we have done is, for the fourth year in a row, we are hosting Black History Trivia, where we have started these discussions and understood that people are often embarrassed by their lack of knowledge of Black history. And so we do understand that Black history is American history, and we want to make sure that that information is available to everyone to share and to celebrate together. Of course, everyone knows about Dr. Martin Luther King. Sure. Everyone knows about Dr. George Washington Carver, but there's so much more of our history that we can discover and celebrate if we just take the time to learn it. So at Black History Trivia, again, this is the fourth year in a row that we have done it. We will host it at the Post off of 72 East. And we just want people to come on out and learn and fellowship in a fun and low stakes way.
Wonderful. And you see all those details there on your screen. And to kind of prep you up for the little trivia, as we said, Deborah is just working so hard to just spread that information around our area. So Deborah, we got some fun little trivia questions for you. We're going to get a little lesson this morning on some different fun facts. We got this little game. Dun, 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 dun. We don't really have sound effects, but we'll just throw those in there for fun.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I think we have 5 questions, right? I'm going to ask you each one. This first one: who was the first Black American to enroll at the University of Mississippi in 1962, breaking the color barrier in higher education here in our state?
Oh, that's a great question, and I know that one. That's actually a little bit of Huntsville history. So,
very interesting.
This is Mr. James Meredith.
Yes, and correct. She made the question, so she also probably does know the answers.
The reason this is also Huntsville history is James Meredith is the father of John Meredith, who is the District 5 City Council President.
Wow, yeah. Wonderful. So fun little Huntsville fact, and enrolled to get in the University of Mississippi. But again, grateful to know it has a tie here to our area. All right, Deborah, you're doing great so far. You got 1 for 1. Question 2, though. The African-American mathematician helped design the blueprints for Washington, D.C., and developed an almanac which accurately predicted solar eclipses. Who was this individual?
Oh, I know this one too.
Of course she does.
So that was Benjamin Banneker.
Wonderful.
Yes.
What a name, Benjamin. I feel like you'd be like, the name's Benjamin Banneker.
Right. No, and I have a tidbit about him, because at the time that he published this almanac, there were other almanacs. And what made his special is that he included commentary about political activism, abolitionism, and support for abolishing slavery.
Wow, wonderful. Again, so much work being done even early on. And to think solar eclipses, again, likewise being studied during that time, is absolutely phenomenal. All right, question 3. You're doing great, Deborah. Do we recognize this woman? And I'm gonna.
I do recognize her.
Can you tell me maybe like can you give me a fact about her or something?
Yes, a lot of people wouldn't know, but this picture was just taken last year. That is Miss Ruby Bridges.
Who integrated the schools?
That's correct.
Stop it.
Yep.
Wait, yes,
Yep.
I think you said. Okay, wait. I'll read some things here. That woman, if you didn't know, yes, Ruby Bridges. She was taken just last year at 71 years old. 71.
Doesn't she look beautiful?
She's absolutely beautiful. And I think sometimes people forget, you know, this isn't that far removed from present day. I mean, again, this occurred obviously during Ruby's lifetime, being the first African-American child to integrate, I will say, an all-white elementary school back in 1960. And again, you see her there, just a small child at 6 years old, and to think she's only 71 now is absolutely unbelievable.
Right, and like you were saying, Payton, we often see the picture of Ruby Bridges integrating the school being shown in black and white. And so it makes us feel as though history is so much further away than it ever was. But there are people, there are grandparents that you have, just one generation above, 2 generations above you, that were part of integrating schools in Huntsville, Alabama. And so those stories are still very relevant.
Yeah, again, phenomenal photo also of Miss Ruby Bridges. A shout out to her, only 71. Okay, and question, here we go, 4. We got a few more here. Question 4. First published in 1936, Black motorists shared a comprehensive guidebook for Black travelers about locations across America and eventually overseas that were either Black owned or didn't engage in segregationist practices. What were these guidebooks called?
Yes, great question. These were called green books.
Okay.
And this is a very important part of history for us to know. This was called the Bible of travel, of Black travel during the Jim Crow era. And so it's important to know that these were places where African Americans could travel to different areas of the country and understand that they were going to be safe and accepted in cities that they weren't necessarily used to.
Very interesting. You've got some interesting facts, Deborah. These are very specific trivia. I was hoping the answer would be like Booker T. Washington, and I would get that, you know, but
Right.
These are some more specifics, but again, very important nonetheless. Okay, question 5, last question here. Named after his persistent father, this 6-year-old became the first African American child to attend a public school in Alabama September 9th, 1963. Who is
Yes. Great question. Again, this is Mr. Sonny Herford IV. Okay, and so his father was a doctor, Sonny Herford III, and that is why Sonny Herford Elementary School here in Huntsville is named after this child and his persistent father.
Wow, wonderful. Deborah, again, it's such fabulous information. Again, we're learning so much. I'm grateful I asked you the questions because I'm not sure, which you said too. I think a lot of people intimidated perhaps by their lack of knowledge, but we want to stress this is going to be an open space this coming weekend just to learn, feel accepted, and just grow in our knowledge of history. And so with that, as we wrap, tell us one more time, when, where, ticket information if that's needed at all, but anything that people need to know to come on out and be a part of this great event.
Thank you. Yes, we're going to be at the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign Wars post here in North Huntsville. That's post 2702 at 2900 US 72 East. Please pre-register by texting 256-804-5816 or visiting the information that you see on the flyer. You'll come out and you'll hear a presentation from former NAACP president of Huntsville and Madison County, Mr. Wiley Day Sr., and we can't wait to have you. It's going to be a lot more than regular Black history, civil rights. You're going to hear some pop culture, some music questions, so just have fun with us.
It's going to be a fun time. Deborah, my friend, thank you for coming on and even more for what you're doing here in the area. We trust that it's going to be a great time this coming weekend. We'll have those details also on our website as well.
Thank you
Deborah.
so much.
Appreciate it.